Uh, Mark. Mark. Mark, as soon as we're done with this episode of DangIT Podcast, I'm not talking to you the rest of the day.
It was actually an accident. You said, I'll give you a verbal cue. I didn't know we were starting it yet.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to DangIT Prodcast, where we talk about video games, anime, manga, the sorts, from like this past week to however far back we want to. My name is Justin.
Mark fucking Phil.
Give me. Just give me a minute.
It wouldn't be us without a little scuff.
That was so good. Oh my god.
Everyone, composure, professionalism.
I'm crying. Give me a minute. I'm freaking crying.
Dude, I just see
Oh
Phil
my God.
laid out in his chair.
That was amazing, Mark. Thank you. I know I
To be
feel
fair,
I guess.
I did not realize that meant he was starting right there. I was like,
Oh,
oh
that
shit.
Now,
that was
granted,
awesome.
there could be a delay in which like I unmute you guys because I have to go through this weird system. So there's a chance it may not have caught it, but
I
yeah,
hope it did, to be honest.
I'm kind of hoping it did. Otherwise, I would justify me just getting upset with Mark.
It was an accident.
That was
I suppose
really
so.
good. That was awesome.
I think the funniest part of it was just seeing Phil just laid out in his seat. You just see him like just wiggling a little bit because he can't help himself laughing.
Oh,
I was
Ibrahim said it
trying.
didn't. Oh well, I'll give you the shorty. Essentially, it's me telling everybody to just kind of like just settle down, wait for like the introduction to go, because I gotta go through the whole opening blurb, and then the moment we go on scene, I'm assuming I unmute everybody, and here comes Mark with the "here we go," and I thought I got caught. But if it didn't get caught, then that's awkward. Anyway, carry on with the introduction.
That's so funny. If it didn't get caught, it
That was awesome.
All right, well,
That was legitimately incredible. Thank you.
all right, I'll be better with the timing
That
then.
made my day. I don't think anything else is gonna be better than that today.
Mhm.
Dude, you want it to be so funny? Mark.
He's like, "Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mark Podcast."
The Mark podcast.
Overriding everything. So yeah, I didn't
Oh,
caught
so
in.
good.
Ibrahim says, "Okay." Oh, hey, by the way, Ibrahim, I relayed the message to Gabe as he was heading out. He left the other day.
Did you go back to Okinawa?
Or was it Okinawa or was it Osaka? I forget which one. Phil, do you remember?
I mean,
I believe it's
The base-
Okinawa.
Okay,
the base
okay.
is in Okinawa. I know that.
Yeah.
Much.
Fair.
Also, just quick apologies now. Katrina's not home, so I have to have the door open. So my dogs will be in and out. They might scream.
That should be.
I'll try to mute them. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
have an idea for you that I've been wanting to do for a while, but you can actually do it because you actually own your house and you could probably do some stuff with your house. My idea
Scary
was
thought.
You like
No,
half
my
the
idea-
house?
my idea was put a dog door on the door so that we don't have to open the door. They just boop right through.
Yeah. So we actually kind of want to do that for our bedroom, because
Mm.
doggies just love waking me up at 6 a.m. on my days off.
That and they can't fucking decide whether they want in or out.
That's one.
That's a big one. So we were thinking about it. Kind of want to have the house in tip-top shape this year, so we'll see.
Ibrahim really just said, "What's going on, Markiplier here?" With a C.
Markiplier.
Oh my god.
Hey everybody, it's
But-
Markiplier here.
Smash.
But yeah,
What?
no, we're here. We're alive. I have survived renovating the house a little bit.
Oh yes.
That's why I wasn't here last week.
Hmm.
Yeah, I put in a new sink. That sucked.
So we've heard.
That was.
So I've seen.
So like, quick house tip: don't put a sink in using tile grout. Who the hell thinks that's a good idea?
Did you look it up first?
No, I didn't do that, Mark. Whoever owned this house previously did that.
They clearly did not look it up first.
Yeah, they kind of willed it.
I was like, because okay, Mark, and I'm not trying to make this a house improvement podcast, but let's be very clear.
Home improvement.
All you have to do is take a knife to cut the silicone around the sink, and then apply a little pressure and pull it off. That's all it has to be, right? So when we took the knife and we heard, and I said, "Oh, that's not silicone. And maybe it's super dry. We got to chip at it." And the minute I hit it on the left side, and on the right side, the tile cracked. I was like,
shit.
"This is grout, isn't it?" And yeah, Lord behold, right when we were pulling the sink up a little bit, we pulled off most of the tile from the counter because we couldn't do anything about it. I did have to look at Katrina and be like, "Trina, permission to pull it?" And she was just like, just do it. And I was
Permission
like,
granted.
okay. And we pulled it. We fixed what we could. It looks fine. It looks okay. Justin is a witness to it.
I witnessed it.
It was probably heavy as a bitch.
Yes, I had to call my friend who can lift higher more than me, because between me and my dad, we couldn't do it. And I felt bad because he had plans. So he showed up for 10 minutes, pulled it, and he goes, "I gotta go." I was, "Thanks,
Dude,
dude."
you know who'd been really fucking helpful?
Who?
Gabe's Marine squad mate that was there. Oh, that would have been a huge hand. I saw that.
That would have been you know what? He would have helped out loads.
Our boy Landon. Landon, he's great.
Landon. Looking at Landon, I'm like, oh, he would have been a big hand.
Yeah, but we got the sink out. We put the new one in. It is stainless steel. It looks nice.
It does look nice. Yeah.
Fucking Abe, you scratched it. You scratched the tile.
He scratched the tile.
Scratched? No, homie, I cracked it. I broke it. I cracked it. I pulled out pieces. It was bad.
He shattered
hurt my
the tile.
feelings.
Popped it, locked it, polka dotted.
Yeah, and then we also ended up the next day putting in new fans, at least 2. So every room we're trying to put a new fan in. And Mark, another home improvement tip: make sure all the wires are plugged in, because when we took off the fan in the little room, I was like, "Huh, hey Dad, this white one was never plugged in. I think that's a safety hazard."
Oh, wait, no, my house could have caught on fire at any moment.
Yep. It was awesome. I love that whoever owned this house previously, did not know anything about that kind of stuff, or they just or as my dad loves to call it, the Mickey Mouse way.
The Mickey Mouse way?
He's Cuban. He calls anything that seems fake, he calls it Mickey Mouse.
Why? Because it's a fictional character.
Exactly. It's fictional. It's cartoonish. There's no reason this should be existing.
It's cartoonish.
So he literally pulls it off. We pulled it off, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And so another thing, nowadays, electrical wires come in black, blue, and green for ground. Okay. And white. It's white, green. It's white, black, blue, and green. None of the houses built in the 50s. This house is built in the 50s. They have yellow to represent black. And that's not good because it's faded. So we couldn't tell which one's white and which one's yellow. And I sat there like,
that faded.
Yeah. And so I sat there going, let's hope we just don't blow up the house.
My man just said that. He's like, "Vaya con Dios."
Yep. I said,
roll that 20.
It worked. After a lot of really dumb things that this house loves to throw at us, we were able to do 2 of the fans. We didn't end up doing the one in my room. We're gonna do that next Saturday, so I might not show up on the podcast next Saturday. We'll
Oh
see.
Jesus!
That one has a whole thing that Katrina let me know ahead of time, and I was like, "Oh no, I don't even want to know what that means," because apparently my fan, the light doesn't turn on without the switch, but the fan can turn on without the light switch. So I don't even want to know what the wiring looks like under that thing.
It's a pretzel.
You're gonna find out. You're gonna learn more and more about your house every day.
I'm so tired.
Those wires probably look like someone tied their shoes with them.
It was a mess, dude. It was a mess. But we did it.
They did a loop-de-loop and pull, and now your wires are looking cool.
I'm so messy. You already know.
Kind of. But yeah. That was my weekend. That was last weekend. I did not have fun. I'll be real.
I remember you said you just sent pictures of your countertop. We're like, oh yeah, he probably ain't making it.
Yeah, no, I got this yesterday. I was able to see the actual detached sink. It's in the garage, and I was like, you know what? Let me just get a fair shake on this one. Just grab like one end of it, assume the position, lifted. No.
Yep.
No.
It was pretty heavy, and I still got to move it out of the garage eventually because it doesn't. We can't like break it because it's pure metal. So we have to. We're gonna do a big item pickup, and we only get 2 of those free a year. So we
Ooh.
don't like to just do one all of a sudden for just one item. So we like to build it up. So it's gonna be in the garage for a little bit. But that was my weekend. How was your guys' times up until this point?
It's been good, actually. I mean, work is so and so for the past week. I did have to do a little bit of overtime, so that typically kind of gets in the way of my usual routine. You guys know I'm kind of on this like this weight loss journey, and it involves pretty much like doing cardio like every day for like the week, and that kind of like pushes it back. And now I finally got to see it firsthand how it kind of affects my schedule and whatnot. Been really busy with that content creation grind, and it really got better. Well, actually, it was past Wednesday or past Sunday that we got to like hang out and do like a partial meeting. That I got to do some pickup stuff just as a foreshadow.
Same. I got some pickups too.
How's the weight loss journey going?
It's good. So now, I mean, granted, I had a little bit of a setback because of the wedding. I kind of gained a few pounds because of that. But I'm now just fighting at like the 220s, or I guess 220.
Nice.
You're doing good.
Even like yesterday when we were going out and I kept track of everything, I had like Dave's hot chicken, which was like 2 chicken tenders, like 2 things of sliced bread for each, a side of mac and cheese, and I think that was kind of it on that one. I guess pickles. And then like later in the evening hanging out with Phil, we wouldn't have had McDonald's, so I had like a quarter pounder meal with like 10-piece chicken nuggets, and I only gained like just a little under a pound for that, so I should be okay. But I'm just fighting
0.2 pounds.
I'm just trying to break 220 now.
You're trying to get like way down to like 219?
Yeah, essentially. That's the next goal.
I feel that.
Hmm?
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm 210. I'm in the 210 range.
Justin is losing pounds. My wife said you're supposed to be losing, not gaining, and I said he is losing.
Yeah. Well, you
She's
do
also-
gain.
she-
The thing is,
she-
you gain pounds with muscle.
Yeah, no, his muscle's heavier than fat.
Right.
Exactly.
So I've been kind of focusing on just
uh,
doing cardio.
Yeah, she's also trying to do weight loss stuff right now. Like she's doing keto.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's tough. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm too much of a bitch for that.
Bitch. Dude, now I just want to see. Now I just want to see a
not like
voice
on a-
dub.
Like I'm not on a diet or anything, but I definitely just eat. Like I've been eating way more, and just eat until I'm comfortable in my stomach. Because like, no, seriously, because I'm eating way more than I normally do, and I'm still losing weight. It's because I'm burning so much from having to work in a warehouse for 8 hours a day, then going to the gym after that. So I'm like burning off more. Like my metabolism's like trying to build up more and more.
Dude, my man working at a warehouse is about to look like an Aztec god.
Maybe we'll see. A warehouse is pretty in this current weather in our area right now. Yeah, it's humid.
I mean, yeah, because it's the whole thing that's wild about people who can maintain their weight when they are above like 300 pounds is the amount of calories that are needed to sustain that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's what makes you take a step back and go, holy shit.
No, granted, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to build a little muscle, but not like to the point where I'm like super duper ripped. I just want to feel like healthy again.
I feel
That's
that.
my
Right.
problem.
Well, I know with like say with her, like the keto diet, she's doing that, and so it's a high protein, high fat, and low carb kind of diet. 0 sugar.
Yeah, I've switched everything to 0 sugar.
Well, at least 0 sugar to very low amounts of sugar.
That's fair because some things just naturally have it.
Yeah, like most fruits have natural sugar.
Right.
I when I have coffee, I have sugar, but that's the only thing I add sugar to myself. Everything else,
Hmm.
I've done.
That's crazy.
It was
I
tough.
have completely canceled off sugar with coffee. And actually
Oh.
it's working to great effect actually. I can totally tolerate that now.
I'm Cuban. I have to have like it's for me. It's two and two.
It's in his
For everything.
bloodstream.
It literally
Coffee,
actually.
yeah, caffeine literally like needs to be in my bloodstream. It's not even funny.
Gary's like, being Cuban, caffeine literally needs to be a part of him.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to clarify with Ibrahim. The pickles and the mac and cheese are separate in that order that I had them. So I would say that
Them being together.
yeah, mac and cheese and pickles together is kind of a weird take. I have
That's,
those separately.
I don't know about that.
Mac and
You're gonna have to run that by me again, Chief. I
Mac
don't
and
know.
pickles. Mac and pickles.
Mac and
But-
cheese and pickles.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I will say there had been days where I haven't gone to the gym, but instead I started Ring Fit Adventure.
Oh hell yeah!
That'll do it.
Hey, you know what? That is cardio. I was like, whoa.
I've done it a couple
I was
times.
in my game room, and Katrina's not feeling good. She's just sleeping on the couch, and I come out of the game room, and I look like I just jumped out of a freaking like pool. I was like,
My man is drenched.
dude. I was like, yo, this game is serious. Like,
I've done it
only
a couple
beat the
times.
first
Yeah.
world. I only beat the first world. I was like, well, I feel gross.
God.
Bro, Phil just looked like he was lubed up.
Yep. I was like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, those
Bro
boss
looks like-
battles are unforgiving.
Those
Bro
boss
looks like-
battles make you work.
Bro looks like if you try to give him a hug, he'll pop right out from it.
I did more squats. I did more squats than I've ever done in my life. Because
Dude,
I played Ring Fit Adventure.
the ab workouts kill me.
An iron butt.
Yep. It was crazy. But that game's fun. That's what I'm gonna do for the days that like maybe like I'm not sick, but Katrina might feel sick or something. So I'm gonna just be at home with Ring Fit. I'm gonna add that into the routine.
Mm.
Hold the squat, Phil. Hold the squat. Hold the squat. You got this.
Yeah, that was wild.
I think they had planks in the game as well, if I recall.
Not the planks. Not the planks.
Those suck.
But yeah, no, we got a lot of we got a lot
Got a lot to talk about.
to talk this week. Not a lot of them in super great detail, but there's some good ones. There's some good ones for sure.
Hmm.
But before we do that, you want to do pickups?
Let's do it. Let's do
'Cause
pickups.
I think it'll lead into one of the things.
All
For
right.
sure.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like the last one for sure.
Dung
be-
dung.
Sure. Shall we go in order or? Oh, okay. I'll go ahead.
Or do you want me to do it first? I don't care.
I guess I'll go first. I have quite a bit. This might actually be the first time I'm actually passing you on like pickups here in a while.
So I only have 4.
Dear
I have 4.
Lord.
I have
Yeah,
4 pickups.
it's kind of crazy. It happened on Sunday. Just the quickest bit of context. It was the quickest bit of context is actually comedic, and I'm just saddened that Nai's not here to like kind of share his perspective on it. But essentially, we had our Tanuki meeting on Sunday, and we were supposed to meet up to have like lunch and whatnot. I get hungry. He says he's gonna be out for like a little bit before he can actually meet up with me. So I'm like, I'm hungry right now. Why don't I just go ahead and have like a meal? I finish the meal. He's still not there, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I could just pass the time. I don't want to go home yet. I guess I'll just go to the GameStop and just see what's going on there. And that was the first like round of pickups. Yeah.
Did he just never show up?
No, he didn't.
No, he did. It's just later on,
Like, wait, like how much later?
like a few hours later.
Holy shit!
This dude.
That's Aniyah.
Da-da.
It's
Why
okay,
is-
Mark. I showed up at 8 p.m.
Why
Yeah,
are y'all so late?
Well, I was doing the fans.
yeah. So we were kind of anticipating that he wouldn't ever show, but we should at least get with like a meeting as like to some degree. But yeah, I went to GameStop and I noticed a couple of copies, as well as realizing that Minecraft is actually on sale for its 15th year anniversary. So I was like, okay. So at GameStop, I got this game called Revita, which GameStop typically has like copies of games that you typically wouldn't see at like typical retail stores. So I got this one. This is like Revita is like a 2D platform roguelike. It's interesting. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, you know, I looked up a video about it, and it looks like my kind of game. I'm like, dang.
I need to get Hades 2 already.
Same. But
yeah, yeah, pretty much. There was only 2 of these copies for Minecraft over at GameStop. It was the OG Minecraft for $15. So I was like, I never bought Minecraft before, so I guess I will. And then Minecraft Legends Deluxe, that was like $25. So I was like, ooh, okay. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm super satisfied. I haven't heard anything from Aniyah. How do I pass by? You know, there's a Barnes and Noble right there. I guess I could just kind of like tuck in over there. I was there for like maybe an hour or so before like Aniyah says.
Shit.
Aniyah texts back, I fell asleep.
Bro, I would have just been in the manga section just reading volumes.
I was thinking about that, but I was like, I don't feel like trying to get into a manga series because that's going to be like a whole investment. So I went to the personal growth section, just read a book over there until he showed up.
He said, I read a book about self-improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And he shows up later, of course. We kind of talk a little bit. We're in the manga section at this point, like just pointing out like copies of like franchises that we recognize. He picks something up. That's when Phil texts us like around like 8. And Grant, mind you, we pretty much had prepped things up to start talking at 2. So all this happened over the course of a couple hours. So Phil's like, I'm done. Let's are you guys still like over there at Barnes and Noble? Me and Katrina could come down. By the time we're already at checkout.
Katrina was like, Barnes and Noble's books, so we went. But then we ended up going to Target because Target that was their next stop.
Yeah.
And it was like, by the time we get there, it's a 15 to 20 minute drive.
Yeah, so
Target was like, we're not going to make Barnes and Nobles, but we'll make Target. So we ended up at Target.
Yeah. And the reason we're at Target is because I need to do another pickup because I was already in the Minecraft phase right now. So I was like, I need to get the other copy that's just not available. So from there, I got Minecraft Dungeons Ultimate Edition. And
that game is really good, by the way. Dungeons is fun. I was playing it when it came out. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's also at Dave & Buster's.
It is.
Is it really?
But
that's like an arcade cabinet?
Version.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, if you don't know what Dungeons is, Justin, it's literally Diablo. It's just Diablo, but Minecraft.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, at that point, I got my copy. We, Phil and Katrina like meet up with us, and we, go shopping here and there, and then we go into the game section, and we notice some games that are like liquidized, as in, they're in the back cabinets, no price tag, not showing up on the aisles, so that means they have mass stocks. They're going to put these guys out on sale. So
this is my fault, Mark. I apologize. I pointed it out.
He pointed it out. I was like, really?
They look like, I think they're trying to like put these at a lower price and get them out of here.
Yeah, and they were.
They were.
So I have 2 copies here. I have Temtem. This was say $22?
Honestly, Temtem I've heard is still a good game.
And then the other one's Rune Factory 5, which was like $15. So I was like, you know what?
That's actually really good. I paid $20
for Rune Factory 5.
I actually really like Rune Factory. I just don't play them often. I pick them up, but like I haven't really played 5 yet. But for 15, that's a steal, dude. I paid it for 20 on Black Friday.
That's crazy. So yeah. All of a sudden, I had a huge just withdrawal on like Switch or just game pickups as just generally speaking, and all of a sudden like that shows up.
I was gonna say, did you miss Minecraft?
Well, with Minecraft, I just never bought it because it was always on Game Pass. So I was like, yeah, I don't need to like pay full price on that. But it was like it's on sale. It's like, all right.
Yeah,
it's in the clearance aisle. So
is it in the clearance?
No, it's the 15th. It was in the 15th anniversary this year. So every Minecraft game was 50% off.
Ooh.
It was a crazy deal. So I was like,
yeah, in store and online. So I was like, dang. Now, if
15 years.
15
doesn't
years.
That
make you feel old, dude?
Holy shit.
15 years old.
2009?
Yeah.
To 8?
Yep.
Even? Yeah.
But if I didn't have those already, I would have done the same thing. I would have been picking them up too because I have them on Switch as well, and it's mostly because the Switch version of Minecraft has the Mario mashup.
Yeah. Oddly enough, they were kind of advertising that, but it was something that they had already devised up since it released on Switch. It was a weird advertisement.
It was a thing that they've done since Wii U.
If
Oh,
you wanna
really?
See someone who, if you want to see someone who does some shit you didn't know was possible in Minecraft, look at Gabe. Gabe always figures shit out. He's got these automated machines that is set up with this most complicated fucking bullshit.
Yeah, no, there's a whole like subsection of things, if not Reddit, where you can just find everything you can learn about Minecraft.
It's crossplay now, so we should totally check it out. It's been a minute. I haven't played Minecraft in forever, but I don't mind trying it out again.
There was a Minecraft DangIT World, wasn't there?
Hmm?
Wasn't there a Minecraft? There was a DangIT Minecraft server. I believe there was.
There was, but it wasn't being supported as well, so like I kind of axed it. It's still there.
Maybe.
As in, I axed my subscription.
Oh,
My dog that was in my house.
they're still there.
Rip that dog.
Hey, it's that dog.
Wait, I forgot. I actually had a bunch of dogs in that house. I had like 7 of them.
Yeah, you had like a little mini army of them.
All right. Well, my pickups are a little strange.
I also have another one, but yeah, we'll wait.
Yeah, I think you're waiting for me to say it too. I get it. I feel it because we have the same pickup, but the first 3 we don't. And I'm going to show them all one by one real quick because they're in the same series. No, it's not Prince of Persia this time. I promise.
Allegations.
I'm still trying to look for a decent price for 2 Thrones. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. But with these pickups, I am officially only one damn first party Nintendo Switch game away from up to date having every single first party Nintendo release on Switch.
Holy
all right.
I'm almost done. And that game is DC Superhero Girl, so you can see why I don't want to buy that game.
I feel like you talked about that before it even came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was announced, and we looked at it. Yeah, it was like, that's first party.
But you're gonna.
It's first party. I didn't think it was, and then I saw the box, and I saw on the eShop it's being published by Nintendo, and I was like,
huh?
What? And I was like, God, dude, that means I have to buy it because that's my goal. My collecting goal in this game room is to own every first party, like North American Nintendo release. Like first party, right? Like nothing like outside of that, just Nintendo's own games. And well, screw me, because I guess I gotta get DC Superhero Girls eventually. That's the last one. But right now, I picked these up to fill out the rest of the collection. And that is Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 2.
Okay.
There it is.
Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 3.
There it is.
And Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 4.
Oh.
And
complete.
I didn't even buy the actual Labo stuff. I just, on eBay, they were selling the games with just the case in the game. That's it. That's all I needed to be.
Bro, better just go get a cardboard box.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you could just make that, actually.
Dog, these were like 12 to, I think the VR one was 15. Everything else was like $12.
Whoa.
These were not expensive. Like, just to have them in my collection because they don't even work on the OLED, so it doesn't even matter.
They don't work on the OLED Switch?
Nintendo claims that the OLED doesn't work with Labo because the OLED's like slightly bigger, so it doesn't fit in the cardboard stuff. Granted, you could shave a little bit off and it'll be fine, but the VR in particular doesn't because of the lens. The lens were made for a regular standard Switch. So I literally only have these just to say I have these in the collection. These are never really going to be played. They're just in my shelf with my other Switch games to say that, yes, I have every first-party Nintendo game. That, and maybe for future Tanuki videos when I talk about first-party Nintendo games.
That's fair.
So that's, I just needed to have them for the collection. So there you go. I got all the Labos because I've been having the first one.
Very nice, very nice.
So,
forgot the Labo was the thing for a hot second.
Yeah, I think they're cool, but like they're not worth the price for cardboard.
They'll do it again.
Whatever.
They'll do it again. Switch 2.
Let's not talk about that. And then the big
back in the lab again.
The big pickup is the one that I've been waiting for. As of right now, it's the best Switch game this year.
You could arguably say
I don't
it's
think-
Nintendo's game of the year currently.
Yeah, probably it might be. It depends on what they're announced at the June Direct. But
True.
I mean, dude, this is like one of my favorite GameCube games of all time. It's up there. It's like number 2, like right behind Metroid Prime for me. And I
Mhm.
always loved this game, and it's so good. And I've always wanted to play it again on a modern platform, but up until now, they've never done it. And it's finally here, dude. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is here, and oh my god, is it good! Holy shit, Mark! They did not have to go that hard. Like, they took the time to redo everything.
It's really just a remake now.
Mark, it could have just been a port.
It could have been.
True, I did see you playing the game. I'm like, this dude look nice.
It could have just been a port, Mark, and I would have been fine. But no, they redid the entire soundtrack. God, the soundtrack. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh
Also,
my
you
god.
missed
Yeah,
the
they-
Phil's cat jam moment listening to the music.
Oh yeah. There's not just reworked music, but there's like new like installments in there for like situational stuff.
Yeah, they put new music in there as well, like and variations of the same theme. So the battle theme changes between, like, they took a page out of Origami King, and battle themes are now reflected on what areas that you're in. So that's really cool. Characters have like Banjo-Kazooie style voice acting now that was not in the original. Yeah, but they use like actual voice clips. So like a thwomp, they sample voice clips. So like, you know how the thwomp goes, right?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
They chop that up into pieces. So he's like, and I'm like, dude, that's so good. That's so good. Koopas sound like Koopas, like from 64, but they chop up all the sound pieces and they make it sound like Banjo-Kazooie.
Mm.
Mario actually does dialogue, not like dialogue, but he does his normal like, let's go, like that kind of stuff. And that was never a thing because Paper Mario is always a silent protagonist.
He has some voice clips, but they added more. And I would like to coin it as just like some voice recordings that they've had with Charles Martinet for a while that they've used
It's
before.
definitely Charles Martinet Mario. But
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, they did so good, dude. And honestly, the 30 frames per second doesn't even bother me. I thought it was going to be a little jarring, but to be honest, they made sure to adjust all of the timing and everything for the 30 frames per second instead of it being 60. It's
Mhm.
perfect. Mark, it's literally, it might be a replacement for the original. It's
Phil
close.
said this is cinema.
It's close, Mark. It's really close. I think the only thing that's holding me back is like, yeah, that 60 frames still would have been cool.
Especially since we've seen it in 60 frames.
Yeah.
But other
to
than
be
that,
honest,
I would
the
say that
lighting,
Mhm.
oh my god, the baked in lighting, the baked in reflections look crazy in that game. Dude, we were Justin came over during one of the streams yesterday, and we were in the Great Tree, chapter 2. And the fact that you could see the waterfall rising in the background of the water, it was like, oh my, in the tree, it was crazy. It was so good. I can't believe this. We live in the year 2024, Mark. This game finally got remade.
Phil is
two of the-
ecstatic.
Two of the most S tier, best reviewed Mario RPGs, the Square Enix one, Super Mario RPG, and now this one, are both remade on the Switch in their best form like ever. I
Mhm.
cannot believe it.
Pod.
it's
I cannot believe
it's crazy that Nintendo polish.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
And then yeah, even the little things like the partnering is super good. It's useful instead of it just being the old way where I gotta go to a menu, get to the partner, then come out. I'm just saving so much time now just using the quick ring.
That's true. Oh yeah, you should also mention that Goombella, like as far as her like in thoughts on like the current like setting that you're in, it's just a separate button, so you don't have to have her on the party immediately just to get
Yep.
that insight.
You can if you want.
That it's really cool. I'm like, man, it's little things, dude. It's the little things that all add up. I'm really excited.
Hmm.
I'm really excited to keep playing it. I've been streaming it. I will continue streaming it tomorrow. I'm excited. This game is so good, dude.
I need to actually sit down and play that one. I still haven't finished Princess Peach because I've just been doing content creation stuff. but I'm not too far
I feel
away,
that.
so I should definitely finish that up.
I feel that though. That game is good. I like the game. You know, I've said it before on the podcast, but like, if you're just gonna beat it, it's very good. If you're going for the 100%, it is it's, really,
It's a little
really
rough,
tedious.
isn't it?
It's a little rough doing the 100% in that game.
Yeah, so I'll finish Princess Peach and then I'll jump into Paper Mario.
Yeah, it's very good.
Man, dude. And that's to say, I do really like Origami King as well. Like, I know it's a complete departure from what we always loved, and that now we have that. But Origami King is also like really well polished too for what it tries to do.
I guess I should speak on that. Like, realistically, there's only one bad Paper Mario game, right? Like, for me personally, it's Sticker Star. That game is just not good. Color Splash is better than Sticker Star. It's basically what Sticker Star wanted to be. That's what Color Splash is. But it's more interesting to look at. It's more interesting to play. It's got more interesting like mechanics going on. I think there really isn't a bad Paper Mario, but let's be honest, the actual original like RPG style of the 64 game and this one, these are top tier. They're not going to be beat unless they make a new one in this style. So like for me personally with this franchise, we got the remake of the one everyone wanted. I think the next game has to be in this style.
I hope so, or at least I hope the sales reflect that.
Like a brand new game in the style would be incredible. But I do want to point out that this game is sitting on an 88 on Metacritic right now. The original is at an 87.
Just beats it.
Just beats it. I believe if it would have hit the 60 frames, it probably would have been in the high 90s. Because when it initially was reviewed, it was mid 90s. So, yeah, no. Thank you, Nintendo. This is literally one of my favorite games. It's literally on the top 25 games for me of all time. And I'm so glad I get a remake of this like wonderful game. I love it. I love it. It's going to be, and the fact that it's on my favorite console now of all time, like, oh my God. Holy shit, dude. I love it.
You'll love to see it.
You'll love to see it. I don't really think there's anything they could have done better, honestly. I mean, yeah, 60 frames, sure, but with what they're working with. But this also leads. Do you have any thoughts on it, Justin? Before I go into,
you were going to point something. I think I can read exactly what you're trying to follow up with. I think there can be improvements here with like the improved frame, like an improved frame rate and whatnot. Other than that, the game is actually running at like 900p docked, 600 handheld, and they had to cut some corners because of the fact that they make this game look as polished as it does look. So presentation wise, it looks great, but it does ultimately have to cut some corners because of the current Switch hardware. So definitely benefit if it just had a little bit more oomph to it, which you could only really get if you improve said hardware. Nudge, nudge. Wink,
nudge,
wink.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Because Mark, I don't know if you know this, some people are weirdos and they always love to rummy and just kind of go through the files and games. And
data miners, yes.
Data miners, yep. And they mined through Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door 2024. They went through it. And Mark, could you believe this? They found code.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing you guys talk about this.
This game to support higher than the 1080p resolution. I think it's like 2180 or something like that. It's lower than 4K.
It's really
lower than 4K.
Oh, okay.
It's like very low end 4K, but that's fine because realistically, I'm not expecting the next Switch to run a full 4K. I expect it to run 4K, but like PlayStation 4 Pro levels, not Xbox One X.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I kind of expect it to be on level wise. And if that's the case, and this is kind of like a Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World situation, where like you could play it on a regular 3DS, but it would run like ass if you put it in a new 3DS, 60 frames, and it looks cleaner. I think that might be what's going on here. Maybe. I don't know. There could be other stipulations because Nintendo has posted 4K images of the game for social media reasons. So that could be a thing too. But I don't think that would just be in the code. You know what I mean? Because why doesn't every other Nintendo game have this in the code? So maybe this is one of those games that's going to show off, hey, we can just pop it into the next console and it'll just run better.
Which is nice.
That's, yeah. And if it does that, then hell yeah, this is a complete replacement. Ain't no reason to go back to the GameCube version. Because that's how I feel about Mario RPG. I think Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo still is a great game, one of the best games for that platform. But there's no reason to go back to it with the remake. The remake really is just that good. So this is getting there for me. This is getting there. In other words, buy it.
In other words, buy it.
Nintendo, or show Nintendo this is the Paper Mario we want.
Exactly.
But we're down to 2 games now from Nintendo left for the rest of the year as of right now. And that would be Luigi's Mansion 2 HD next month. And Nintendo World Championships NES Edition in July.
In July. That's, yeah, they're still like stacking like game per month.
Yeah. I appreciate it because then it doesn't mean I have to rush out every week to buy games.
This is also true. But unfortunately, it does get stacked up with other games that just end up like releasing as well.
Yeah.
Now, I know that we're kind of in the midst of like talking Nintendo still. So I still want to kind of like stay on like said topic with another thing that got announced this past week. We were talking about the remake for Mario. And the fact is that, you know, we're seeing a whole slew of these, and we're probably going to see a lot of those in June as well. And I'm not sure if this is one-to-one as far as like the news that we got this past week. But Nintendo did an acquisition recently.
They did. They bought a whole ass studio, which is not something Nintendo does often. The last studio they acquired was Next Level Games. And that was kind of like when PlayStation was like, hey, we just bought Insomniac. I was like, you didn't own them already?
Pretty much.
Because like Next Level Games makes the Mario Strikers games and Luigi's Mansion. So it's like, oh, I didn't realize you didn't own them until now. But this is an actual acquisition. Like this is something that added left field. So they bought Shiver Entertainment, or they're in the process of buying Shiver Entertainment from Embracer Group.
Ooh, doing them a solid with that one.
Yeah. So the whole point of Shiver Entertainment is that they're known as a port studio. So I looked through their credits, and realistically, the only game they actually made was Scribblenauts Showdown. That's a PS4, Xbox One, and a Switch game, and it didn't review that well. I think but that's not why Nintendo bought them. I think there's a whole plan going ahead here because they're also credited for the ones who ported Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat 1, and Hogwarts Legacy to the Nintendo Switch.
Certainly an effort.
They're the ones who ported MK11?
Yep.
Is that a good thing? That didn't sound like a good thing.
So let me be very clear how this works, Mark. Like, let's be upfront right now. Yeah, those ports suck. They're not gonna like. Let me be very clear. These are the worst versions of the games to play. Right? Like, because there's no like those games were not designed with Switch in mind. However, it's a miracle they even work on the Switch.
Also true.
I think that's what they're looking at. Because let's be honest, people bought Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch. That one fared better than the other two. Yeah, there was a lot more loading screens and a lot more things to compromise, but they got an entire game like that up and running on the Nintendo Switch. So I think Nintendo is looking for them to help third parties port their games over for their next console. And now that they're under Nintendo 100%, then you get Nintendo engineers involved. Now you're getting all the knowledge from that studio involved. And then I just feel like we're going to get really, really good ports going forward of these games, of newer games coming to the Nintendo platforms. Because another thing on that contract is they actually are not just Nintendo developers either. They're going to work for PlayStation and Xbox. It's in there. It's in the contract in the agreement that even though they are a Nintendo-owned studio, they can still continue to port games to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Awesome.
That's good.
So I think it's going to be good for Nintendo because one, this is probably a cheap acquisition. They probably didn't pay that much money, right? Like Embracer Group was just trying to get rid of the studio.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And two, it's good because now if there's a big third party game that wants to come over, Nintendo engineers and Shiver Entertainment, they're just like, hey yo, we can work with you. And that's really cool because now they'll get the knowledge of Nintendo plus whatever they already know. It's perfect. I think this acquisition is a little underrated, to be honest. I think they're looking at the bigger picture here, and I think we're gonna see some really, really crazy ports coming to whatever this Switch is and the next one. That Final Fantasy VII remake on the next console starting to look mighty good.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to look mighty real.
Mighty real.
Tasty.
Man, portable like Final Fantasy VII remake and Rebirth sounds pretty cool to me.
Rebirth is going to be an interesting undertaking.
Yeah, it is, but it is the same engine as remake. So
this is also true.
So I don't know. I would like to see what the labors of this is going to happen. I was going to transition into Square Enix stuff, but I do have one more Nintendo news if you want to do it.
Oh, sure.
And that is that we're getting a store near us, baby.
Let's go. West Coast. Let's
do it. Nintendo is opening their official second store in the US for the first time in a long time in the US. The new Nintendo New York has been the primary Nintendo store here in the US forever.
Mm-hmm.
That store has history, right? That used to be a toy store. You know, it was just a random toy store in Rockefeller Plaza that existed. And that was where they first sold their first NES. And then when that toy store went under, Nintendo bought it. It was the Pokemon Center for a while. And then they made it into the official Nintendo store.
I remember when they closed the Pokemon Center in America. I was like, oh.
Well, they didn't really close it. It's just they were just like, well, we have more than just Pokemon. What the hell are we doing? So if you go into the store, Mark, upstairs, it's like there's like nothing but a whole Pokemon section.
Sweet, I still gotta go.
It's the idea of it being the Pokemon Center.
Yeah, I know, but they still call it the Pokemon Center in that little section.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so it's still there, kinda, but it's the same store. But we are getting the second official store in San Francisco.
It's kind of far,
Nintendo,
but closer.
A little far still from us, since we're down in Southern California, not Northern.
Not up north.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's a little close. That's closer than going all the way to New York.
I wonder why they chose San Francisco.
You know what, Mark? I actually asked that question too, because if I was Nintendo, I would try to put one near where they're at in Washington. Because they're based in Redmond, Washington. I would have tried Seattle. Right? Like that just kind of makes sense to me.
I mean, because California and New York, those make sense because they are like entertainment central here in America.
Sure.
But at the same time, it makes you wonder is why San Francisco?
Well, they're gonna put it in the middle of Union Square.
I was gonna say because I would think that if you wanted to go in California, I'm like surprised that you chose San Francisco and not like I don't know San Diego or LA.
I do definitely think San Fran's an interesting choice, but I also think when they said Union Square, I was like, oh, okay. It's got the vibes of like a city. It's downtown. It's right in the middle of downtown San Fran. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
It's the tourist area. Yeah, Union Square is the tourist area. I've only been there once in my life, but yes, it's in the tourist area. So I think that's an interesting spot, but the store is going to be officially called Nintendo San Francisco.
That's pretty sick.
We'll be joining the other stores that exist. So that would be Nintendo New York, Nintendo Kyoto, Nintendo Osaka, I think.
That sounds familiar.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong. And then Nintendo San Francisco.
Nice.
So, and that's cool because that means they're going to get exclusive merch only to that store. They all share merch, but sometimes they all get exclusive stuff. Like how New York has like really cool shirts that have like Nintendo characters just in the streets of New York.
I have to actually pull it up on Google Images. Yeah, they actually do.
I love that little Toon Link one. It's Toon Link sitting in Central Park like feeding birds. It's really cool. It's really cool. And then the Mario coming out of the sewer, just like
Yeah.
plumber. It's awesome. It's so good. It's so good. I need it.
New donk before new donk.
I wanted that Mario shirt really bad. They didn't have it in stock when I was there.
Damn.
And then they had the Link one, but not in my size. And I was like,
it was rough.
Phil said,
yep, it was rough. But I'm cool. I'm excited. Next year, 2025 is the grand opening. We should totally talk about
make some plans. We'll be there waiting in the sun, grabbing merch, getting our cars broken into. It's gonna be a good time.
Getting our cars broken into.
You already know what it is, baby. Well, my in-laws live only an hour away from San Fran, so
that's crazy. Yo.
So I have a place to stay. I don't know.
I got a place to stay.
Good luck, everybody else.
I'm just saying. I have
the words have been spoken.
Close up there. I do have family that lives close by there, so like for them, it's like a drive to LA from here. You know what I mean?
Phil said, "Figure it out."
Phil said, "They're not like us."
I mean, we can always do hotels. I'm kind of down to do a hotel in San Fran.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude. Nintendo San Francisco, that's awesome. Great news.
Mm-hmm.
And really, like, this is crazy, like, because they didn't talk about any of this in their financial reports. They didn't talk about an acquisition. They didn't talk about a new store. We're just
doing it, man.
Yeah, it's this is great because this is them getting ready for the next console. Like, this is them getting ready to start up like more merchandising and more like places to pick up the new console.
That's gonna be sick. I'm excited for it.
I'm excited. This is it. This is the hype era. We're in there. We're back.
We're back.
It feels good to be back. Yeah, that's all the Nintendo stuff I've got so far this week. I think
so. Yeah. Not really much otherwise. They're just like slowly cooking with things. Obviously Mario is like the biggest thing to highlight, and like that's just like with June around the corner. So that means we're gonna just be hitting game news like from jump.
Dad, and after next week, it's nothing but like every week is gonna be something crazy. I can promise you.
Yeah, so anyone out there just making content regarding video games, just be prepared.
One moment.
Gotcha. No, I'm looking forward to San Francisco. It's like, whoa. First of all, I've never been. Second of all, based on like the new merch ideas, or at least the merch that they distributed in New York, where it's like different characters in real life settings in New York, I'm kind of curious as to what they'll be doing for San Francisco, aside from the obligatory like Golden Gate. So we'll see. I'm kind of hoping to see like more like Nintendo characters get that representation over there, but the fact is I still haven't gone to New York ever, and so for me to go there with the intention of going to see the Nintendo store and the Pokemon Center, of course, then that'd be great. I also makes me curious as to what they'll do with Pokemon over there. Would they also make another Pokemon Center just like upstairs or something like that? I'm curious about it. Yeah, all we're really missing is a legitimate Nintendo Land. Oh, actually, we have some kind of theme park for Nintendo West Coast, but it's not necessarily Nintendo Land. I'll have to fact check that, actually. Also, people in chat can also assist on that one. That'd be great. In the meantime, I'll just go ahead and like do a quick search on that. This is actually a good opportunity to even to advertise, since we're talking about like the new console and everything like that. I actually posted a Tanuki video. We talked about it on the podcast to a certain extent, but y'all haven't really been privy to it, or just need a quick recap on what we know. I posted a video over on Tanuki where I talk about what's been out there announced as of this month for the Switch 2. So some fun stuff. Phil?
Sorry, I was on the phone.
Gotcha.
Quick call is all good. Yeah, no. Another big. I guess it kind of ties into Nintendo and Xbox, right? Because Mark might finally get his wish about Final Fantasy showing up on Xbox. But we did talk about it a little bit. But there's something happening at Square right now, and you can see it. So they did fire those people. They did have a mass firing in the U.S. and Europe.
It was kind of rough.
Right? Kind of rough. They did talk about their plans to go multi-platform from here on out because let's face it, they were not making money on the really good games that they were putting out on PlayStation.
And Foam Stars.
And Foam Stars. And now, because of that announcement, their stock rose.
Damn. Well, just like that.
Just like that. And I was like, so obviously this should have been a thing they'd done a long time ago. You know what I mean? And here's the first piece of that pie. The Kingdom Hearts series is going to come to Steam.
Very nice.
Coming in June. And they made a whole trailer about it. New re-recording of not Dearly Beloved, I'm sorry, of Simple and Clean. I was like, what? This is crazy.
It's big.
And they already confirmed that these are Steam Deck verified, so they are ready to go on that too.
Oh, all right.
And this is every single game in the series, and so this is part of that plan. Because remember, these have been on PC already, but they were locked to the Epic Game Store.
Aye.
Now that they're going to be on Steam, more people are going to be able to play this series again. And it kind of ties in with a little rumor floating around the internet by the leaker of Midori, who's been pretty good at leaking Atlas and Sega stuff.
Aye. I'll look it up too.
She's claiming that Square Enix is planning to bring the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise, including Kingdom Hearts 4, to the next Nintendo console.
Oh.
As everyone knows, the Kingdom Hearts games are playable on Switch, but they're the really bad cloud versions. They suck.
This is true.
So having native ports of those games running on the next console, that sounds fire. It also just ties in with the fact that we're hearing Final Fantasy VII Remake. Remember? That was supposed to be one of the demos they showed off with Breath of the Wild.
At the Gamescom like a year or so back? Yeah.
Yep, it was those two and the Matrix Unreal Engine 5 demo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it's all coming together. Every piece is coming together. Because we have rumors that Persona 3 Reload is the next console game as well. We have
crazy. Okay.
We have a Metaphor di Rifantasio is also a next console game. Which would make sense. I'm looking forward to seeing what this happens. I'm telling you now, I'm certain Visions of Mana is also going to be a next game too. I don't think it was weird that they didn't even announce it for Nintendo right now, but Trials of Mana Remake made the most money on Switch, so I don't see why Visions of Mana wouldn't make it. But this is going into Mark too because these are games that should have been on Xbox to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
They should have been there from day one. True. Maybe if PlayStation had a little bit of an exclusivity deal, all right, sure, why not? But the fact that they had the exclusivity deal, these deals have ended and they still haven't showed up. That's pretty wild to me.
Mm.
And I'm glad you're getting the opportunity to play something like Visions of Mana. You know what I mean? The Mana series is great. And I'm just glad to see that we're all gonna get these games on the consoles we want. I'm excited to see what happens from this new plan going forward. Because Square Enix definitely has games coming out. There's still that rumored Final Fantasy IX remake. There's still the leaked Final Fantasy Tactics remake. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We will see. But Square Enix is apparently their stock's up and going, and that means Japan likes the idea of them putting more games on Nintendo and Xbox.
That's good to hear.
And then realistically, there's only one more thing I wanted to talk about gaming wise, if you want to do it, but I don't know if I'm qualified because I haven't played it. I just want to know if
we could share some thoughts. I think I know what you're talking about though. Yeah,
so Paper Mario wasn't the only big release this week. There was another big game that people had their eyes on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gotten the reviews I wasn't expecting. And that's Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. And from what I've heard and seen, The game looks amazing. It is probably the best looking Xbox Series X game you can get. Like, it looks incredible. The audio design on point, which is fair. That's how the original game was. The audio was the best part of the game. And I played the first game, so I can only really speak about my experience with the first game. And I know that the combat's whatever. The combat's just there to be there. And I heard that that's still a thing, that it's just kind of there to have something to do. Like, it's not deep, it's not anything crazy, you know what I mean? But I've seen a lot of people saying they're disappointed with this game.
Hmm.
And that's weird. Cause like I feel like Ninja Theory set a pretty good story with the first game. I'm hearing it's because of story. I'm hearing it's because people don't really like the I guess the plot of the game. And I'm like, or like what it represents. And I'm curious what that means. I have it downloaded. Ready to go. I feel like I should play through it soon.
Mm-hmm.
It is only about 5 hours, which I don't think. I know that some reviews were criticizing the length of the game. To me personally, it's if those 5 hours are good, then I don't care. You know what I mean? Like if the game is 1 hour, but that 1 hour was such a good game, I'm like, dang. Like that was like Mario Land. Mario Land 1 is a 30-minute game.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? It's really good 30 minutes. I'm like, I had fun. So I'm wondering what's wrong with the game.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to play them both back to back. And again, they're both about the same length.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of want to play them both back to back and then see the comparisons and see what's wrong exactly.
I gotcha.
But Mark, did you expect these reviews for Hellblade 2? As our resident Xbox?
I mean, to be fair, it is one of the few series in Xbox that I don't really keep up with.
Okay.
So I'm like, honestly, I was like, I mean, judging from all that's been hyped up to be, I was thinking that it'd probably be good.
Well, there's some people that are saying it is good.
Like really good.
But I think, how can I put this without, like, how can I put this? I think the kind of game and the story it's trying to tell can only be done through the medium of video games.
Right.
But I'm hearing it's a good experience, just not a good game. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
And what I mean by that is the gameplay is so minimal that as a game it fails. But as an actual experience of what's going on and what you're doing and what you're seeing, it's a damn good showcase for the console.
Mm.
And I think that's an interesting way to take it.
It's an interesting take. We have a lot of game genres that are not just like heavy on like gameplay in the regards of combat and whatnot. There's some that are just purely puzzle solving. There's some that are just purely narrative. Like pretty much all the Telltale games are, to almost with some exceptions, just purely just point and click narratives, making decision based stuff.
Detroit Become Human?
Something like that.
Detroit
Yeah.
Become Human. Yeah, well, the thing about Telltale games is like they kind of shifted into that kind of thing, because really older Telltale games, like the Sam and Max games or the like Back to the Future, that series, they were more like the original LucasArts style of point and click games, where it's like you get a bunch of things. What do you do with these? Figure it out. Continue the story like that. When it was The Walking Dead season 1 that really pushed the narrative driven choices from there on out. And I think Telltale kept going with that instead.
All right, fair enough. But even then, like, those are all different types of experiences in video games, and to kind of dismiss that in reviewing Hellblade 2, I don't think that's quite justifiable. But I understand if people are like, it has a bunch of other elements into it, but there are definitely stronger ones over, like, say, the combat. I get that. I hear that.
Sorry, my dogs are barking like hell in the background. I apologize. Let me just go double.
Fair
I'll be right
enough.
back.
So yeah, it's an interesting situation with Hellblade 2. The fact that it had such a huge backing with Xbox to really polish that game up. Like if you look at Hellblade 1 and 2, there's a huge time frame in like the release, but it is super polished. It looks crazy good. As they were saying, like audio design's crazy in there too, but you know, the combat is apparently like worked from the ground up, but it's only like this. It's nothing crazy where like in say God of War, which is also kind of a character focused game. You know, they have like really touched up on a lot of the gameplay aspects of that one, where you know things that you've seen like from the different weapons that Kratos utilizes is it's increased like so much so. There's different mechanics added into that, but that's because it's the product of an action game, and Hellblade 2 is arguably an action game too, but there's just more to it that can only be described for like what Hellblade is. It's its own unique type of thing, so it's kind of tough to say. And the fact that it really is just a very short experience. I don't know. I guess people will also like just bash on it because it is part of like Xbox's like lineup of games that they've been really working towards. So people could possibly dismiss it as just like yet another like another game like from Xbox's like catalog that just doesn't promise to deliver, with the exception of Hi-Fi Rush. But that's also complicated.
I think it also stems in the idea that it's just games that Xbox keeps hyping up, and they keep hyping up, and it's not that kind of game that people want. And on top of that, it's not a good look after all the firing they just did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe that gets played in the reviews too a little bit, but I'd like to think that doesn't, and people are a little more unbiased about that. But I guess I have to play it myself, because reviews are only just for me to get the general idea of what I'm about to get myself into.
Mm-hmm.
I like to make my own opinions, obviously, but I don't know. And that's really all I've got.
It's definitely one where we needed to like really sit down and like talk about it. We either will just like it for what it is, or maybe just have some gripes here and there. I feel. It'll just be another game that we've like played through, but at least it's not like, from what I understand, it doesn't seem to be like the type of game that like we're just completely disappointed in. Well, there'll just probably be some critiques here and there about like how it is. So I think they'll be fine. I know that Ninja Theory it's not going to get canned for this one.
No.
They got other projects lined up for them, so that'd be my only concern, really. Is if a studio like Ninja Theory also joined the ranks of like Tango Gameworks and just got axed, like just like that.
Man, Ninja Theory getting axed would be devastating. Oh my god. But yeah, we'll play it. I'll play it soon. It's on my list of like, it's a little bit higher priority than some other things.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I really got.
Gotcha. I guess we can also talk real quick about the fact that Call of Duty has been officially announced as like that secondary like presentation alongside Xbox's.
I don't like that name.
What was the name exactly?
The original like leaked name was Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, I told Justin about that, yeah.
But now it's Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Oh.
And that name sounds dumb now because there's not a 5. Because it's Cold War is the 5th game. That's a dumb name now.
But is that but we don't know if 6 is just the title they're going for right now. If they're calling that's the official title.
That is the official title.
Oh, is it?
Yikes!
Yeah, they announced it. They said they literally announced it with a teaser trailer, and then they said, "Get ready to see more of it after the Xbox Game Showcase." And I'm like, seriously, that's a dumb name for a COD game. Oh my god. Because it would make sense. It would be. I wouldn't be mad about it if Cold War was just 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, when I look at that shelf, it's gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4 Cold War 6. Awesome. Awesome. Stupid ass name, I swear. but it is the Treyarch Call of Duty, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store for that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing what's new for zombies. Is the campaign going to be fun? Some new multiplayer stuff that might be new. You know what I mean? Like I'm just excited to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like a huge Call of Duty dude. I play it with homies here and there for sure. But we're still just playing Cold War. Like we didn't play Vanguard. I didn't play Modern Warfare 2. I didn't play Modern Warfare 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just played Cold War because it's got prop hunt.
Yeah, that's true.
And prop hunt's fun. So, you know?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like with that, we can go ahead and wrap up. But is there anything else that we need to just go ahead and touch up on before we wrap?
I don't believe so.
No. Just a lot of weird financial news this week, I guess.
I guess so. June's like really big on the gaming side of things.
It's the calm before the storm.
Ooh.
Calm before the storm because
Get ready.
June is crazy. I guess the only thing I got is I can like officially really confirm that I will be with the Tanuki Media group this year for Retro Gaming Expo in SoCal. So
let's go.
You can see us at SoCal Retro Gaming Expo on June 8th and 9th. We'll be on both days in Pasadena, downtown Pasadena, at the Pasadena Convention Center. And then I will also be with them at EVO 2024 this year, baby.
Let's go.
We're going. So that will be July, right?
Yeah, it was it's literally the week before Comic-Con. It's gonna be, I believe, I think the 20th and 21st, I believe. Yeah.
I think so. Well, either way, it's at the Las Vegas Convention Center. So you'll see us on the strip.
Aye.
You'll see us on the strip. We're going to be up and down and being at the convention and just being there supporting Aniyah because Aniyah is going to be our representation playing this year.
Yeah.
I didn't practice KOF enough to actually go in this year. I was too scared. Too scared. Maybe next year. Maybe. Yeah, well, I don't know.
That might explain why he's gone.
Yeah, he might be in the Tekken lab as we speak.
Yeah, he might be in the underground right now.
Oh my god.
Dual sense in hand.
Dual sense in hand is wild. But yeah, other than that.
All right. In that case, we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another episode of DangIT Prodcast. It's been episode 500. Actually, did I even say the episode? Well, it's 506. My name is Justin.
Mark.
I'm Philip.
Thanks for watching, everybody. #bye, everybody.